What's going on, guys? It's your boy Random Guy Kev, and this is Thoughts of a Random Guy. We talk about many things dealing with love, dating, relationships, adulting, life's ups and downs, and the ever evolving world of just being human. Don't forget to check me out on all your favorite social media platforms at Random Guy Kev and my website at randomguykev.com. Today's topic is family, career, and love. Your love life. How would you rank them? And my co host for this episode is.
What's up, guys? I'm Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff, for joining me for this episode. Um, I feel like I don't know if we I don't know as humans, adults, do we even really talk about this? Because I feel like at some point I've talked about this with friends a couple times, and like I was talking to an older gentleman that brought this up to me years ago, and he would always say two out of the three of these would always work, not all three. It'll either be your family, career, your love life, your like your love life and your family, like vice versa. But like, and he says two out of three only because by the time you get married, that person is your family. So your love life no longer matters because they're part of your family. So it's family and career. So you're good. But as you're going through life, it's juggling. You're trying to juggle all three when you should really be focused on two and trying to your best to focus on two because the third will just kind of go into place sometimes.
Yep.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it like that, I understand what he's trying to say. Um, like, it's difficult. Like, everybody has a different aspect and different mindset on a career. When it comes to like your career itself, I mean, you can build your career up pretty quick if you start at a young age, and then that kind of comes out the aspect. I always look at it like my kids are number one, no matter what. But and then comes my fiance and stuff like that, and then my career. I kind of put myself in a position where I'm kind of set with my career, so I'm more on my kids and my love life slash like marriage.
Yeah.
But when it comes to kids, like a lot of people kind of when they get kids, they don't really look at their love life or their spouse as much, so they lose that connection. And
Mm,
so much energy is focused on the kids, but what a lot of people don't understand when you have kids, yes, your attention's towards them, but you can't forget your partner because when your kids turn, let's say 16, they don't want to be around you. Like, you know what I mean? And then 2, 3 years later, they're out your house. And then who do you have left? You have your
mm,
wife. You have your love life. You know what I mean? So like it. A lot of people just forget. Like, yes, your kids are important. I have 2 kids, very important in my life. But like, some people forget about their partner, and you kind of just gotta like, don't leave your partner out of it. You know what I mean? Don't
yeah,
give all your focus on your kids and then leave your partner behind. Because when your kids get older, you're alone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, career, a lot of people, like, some careers take longer. Some careers, are pretty quick, relatively. But yeah, I always say, like, if you have kids, just don't forget about your partner. Because in a couple years, when your kids get older, they're out the house, you know,
So
all
what,
you,
what
all
would
you have
what
to
would
lean
what
on.
would you say before you had your kids? What was like your focus like out of those three tiers? What were your top two?
Uh, I would say career and then love life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was a mixture really because like I was young, I was just trying to hook up with girls, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
any other guy does. And then I didn't really start like a career until I met my fiance Marie. And then that's when I kind of put my head on a swivel and was like, all right, man, like maybe I should actually focus in on my career. And like the first 2 years, I figured out what I really wanted to do in life, and then I'm at that point now.
So
But
you were a whore.
I mean, we all teenagers, bro. Like we young
Wow.
adults. We just
Young
try to do
adult
what we can.
whore. 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 No, that's interesting because, for me it's like Like, I focus on my career and family. Like, yes, love life is there. It's getting to know people is cool, but like, if you don't really see a future with them, or you don't see the progression in your relationship going towards something like a forever, then you kind of take a step back. I think we all dabble in all three. Like, okay, my career is going well. Shit, I feel like I'm stable. Let me get into my love life. Let me see how that's going. And then it's like, all right, this is going well. Let me jump over here into family, make sure my family's good. Sometimes my family isn't good. And then you jump back into your career and you want more advancement. You want to do better. You want more money.
Yep.
You want this. It's like, all right, let me focus more on my career and get these classes out the way to get these certifications and push forward. And like, now let me work more on my love life. And it's like, I think you bounce around from each one, um, as you go through life and when you go through situations. And I think that each situation in everyone's life changes their perspective. And I don't think everybody focuses on two out of the three all the time. I think sometimes people just focus on one.
Yeah, I
They
can agree
focus
with
on
that.
one and they just keep it going. And it's like everything else has to fall a line around it. Um, and, focusing, if you got something going on in life, like, let's say home isn't good and like things aren't going right, then you focus on your career. Fuck that. I'm gonna do the best job at work so I don't have to think about my family or whatever issues going on there. Like, um, and that family piece fault sometimes ties in with your love life because like you got a fiance, and it's like, if you have a girlfriend, or somebody had a boyfriend, it's like, all right, I want to grow with this person. I want to make them my family. Now it's like, all right, let me focus on that family piece because I want them to be my family, not just my lover.
Yep.
So that kind of ties together as a whole. Um, is there any point where you felt like you just said fuck it, like fuck my career, fuck my family, fuck my life? At any point that you were just like, I don't care about any one of these. I'm just gonna focus on this other thing.
What do you mean by other thing? Like something separate from those three things?
No, just one of the, say you have an issue with your family. You're just like, yo, fuck family. I'm just gonna focus on my career and my love life, and that's it. Keep it fucking pushing. Or I just want to focus on my career. Has there ever been a point where you're just like, this is the only thing I want to focus on because fuck everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say when I was like a year or two out of high school, I just like just dealing with family bullshit and cousins and aunts and all that stuff, and then I moved on to Delaware for like a
Mm-hmm.
year and got away from it, and then I figured out the hard way, like being away that far was just a little bit too much, and I kind of got like homesick, so I came back up. Um, but yeah, I've been in that situation where it's like, oh fuck this, I'm just gonna leave. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've been down that road as well.
Do
It's
you feel? Go ahead.
yep. No, sorry,
No, go
I forgot what I was gonna say.
ahead. Do you feel like what made you come back is because you missed your family and you wanted to kind of fix that
Yeah,
and refocus on fixing that because you were away from it being
yeah,
in Delaware?
yeah, exactly. Like I went away, and it got to the point where, like, when you get older, you don't see eye to eye with your parents, or like
Mm-hmm.
especially like my dad. Me and my dad are kind of the same person, so we did like butt heads a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I left for that year, and then I came like just missing just being around somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and then I was like, maybe I've come back, and then I left the well, when the internship was done, I came back, and me and my dad kind of got on the same page and everything like that. And then just missing my mom, you know what I mean? Like being away from your mom so much and just talking over the phone, you miss that like person
You
to
miss that family
person.
aspect of life,
Exactly.
yeah. And it's like, I think, again, I think that we all go through that point where we say fuck something entirely. It's just like, you know what? Fuck my career. I'm gonna fucking just focus on me, my love life, my family,
Yep.
and see how that goes. And the same thing, like, I mean, I feel like we've all had points where even even when it comes to your love life, you just said, you know what? I'm gonna take a step back from this stuff. I'm gonna focus on my career and focus on me and my family. I was at that point. I feel like we all go through that point where it's at least one or two of them where we're just like, yo, fuck this shit right now. I'll focus on this.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
And
same thing. Like, I'd say 2, 3 years ago,
mm-hmm,
I was trying to get my license, and it was just like I wanted the hours to be able to sit down to take my test. So like I just started working nonstop hours, like 70 hours a week, 75 hours a week, and that was around the time like my son was born.
mm-hmm,
So it was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of like I was away a lot, and I wanted to kind of get those hours done, and it was kind of like okay, like I was like, Murray, take care of the kid, take care of my son, and then like I just went off and I was working nonstop,
just working.
and then it got to the point where I'm like, I got burnt out, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore, and then that's when I found the union and stuff like that, and it's much more friendly, I'm actually home to be with my kid. I'm the first one. I'm the first one to leave the house, and then I'm the first one to come back home.
That's awesome.
So it's nice to be home now,
Yeah.
but I understand that where it's like, all right, let's grind this out and see how far we can get. But eventually, you drop some, you pick some up, and you drop some again. So
Hmm.
I mean, that's life.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think like for me, like when I was focused on my career in New York, like I listen, my days would be long as fuck. I'd have to be on the train by like 5, 6 a.m. And then, I'm out in the city maybe till like 5, 6, and then back on my way home 7, 8 o'clock, and then I have to go back to sleep and do the whole same thing over again. So it's like at one point, like I was just so focused on I want to get in a better place in my career. So essentially, you know, it was just like, all right, let me pick up another consulting role. Let me jump to this role. Let me jump on this product. Let me get the enough experience so I can do what I want. Because at one time when you graduate, they're just like, hey, you don't have enough experience for this job, and it's like, bruh, like what what are you talking about? Like I just graduated. I got my degree. Give me a fucking job. Let's make it work.
Yeah, same thing. I got done with schooling, and then I went to like at least 7 companies, and every single one was like, one of them was like, yeah, you don't have enough experience. And it's like, can you give me experience? No, 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 you gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Another place just laughed at me. He was like, you ain't got no experience, bro. I'm not gonna take you on. And I'm like, you could teach me. And he just
yeah.
walked away. And it's like, bro, like, and then when I found that job, it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, come on in. And they just work you like a dog. And that's when you kind of like fall into your career. After a while, you just get tired of it. And you're
Yeah.
like, all right, man.
So like when you focus into one too much, you leave the other ones kind of just like open and not really cared for in a sense. You just like okay, if I'm focusing on my career and I said fuck my, not really fuck my family, but like let me not focus as much on my family and my love life, then those things go by the wayside. And again, if you're with somebody, then they feel like you don't want them at that point. Like, bro, you're like, I get it, you're getting this money, but still you gotta take care of your family, you gotta be here for us and not just make money.
Yeah, yeah, that's same, and that's all. That comes down to just communication with your partner and everything like that. Cause I mean, that happened to me where like we just it was that groove where I was working so much, and then after a while, she was like, you should be home more and blah blah blah, and now we spend too much time together.
Is it really too much time, or is like you guys have to plan stuff and it's everything is somewhat balanced?
um, it's we try to get on the same schedule, so like it like I have a schedule with with airsoft and stuff like that. So like
Mm,
we kind of work around that,
mm.
and I know she hates doing that, but she knows how much I like to do it, so she doesn't want to
I
take
mean,
it
it's your
away.
escape.
Yeah, so like that's why she's very lenient, but like she likes to take a lot of vacations. Like if
Oh,
I
okay.
go if I go away for a weekend, it's like okay, in a week or two, we gotta go somewhere.
That's why I was at Disney for like 3 months, huh?
I think this year I was like, I think we've been there 2 or 3 times this year, and
Okay.
oh man, I've, this year I've been to 2 concerts with her, and I think she's been to like 4 or 5,
Mm.
and I think she has like another 3 or 4 concerts. But yeah, I mean, it's all about that communication, like
And being able to balance everything, like
yeah,
being able to balance that love life, the family, and the career all in one. So everybody's happy at the end of the day. I mean, again, you can't make everybody happy all the time, but enough of the time you can. And for you, it seems that you took somewhat of a step back, not really a step back from your career. It's that you have a union that you know gets you better hours essentially, so you have enough time with your kids and enough time with your fiance to do what you
yeah,
guys need to do.
yeah. So they're just the middleman that's like, hey man, you have a set time,
Get the
like
fuck out.
yeah, like 3:30, 3:30, I'm done.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to pay this worker time and a half? No. Okay then. He's literally gonna drop his tools at 3. At 3:30, he's in his truck leaving. Like
Yeah.
it's very set in stone, and that's what I like. It's just joining the union. It was very family friendly,
Mm-hmm.
so that's when I was like, oh, I'll take it now. I mean, when you got kids young, I have 2 toddlers, and you don't really want to miss out in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And no matter how much money you make, you're never gonna
Get that time back.
re yeah, you're never gonna get that time back. You're never gonna relive those milestones that your kids hit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why I had my daughter, and then I was like, I think it's time to slow down a bit, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't have to be, they treat me really good, so,
Okay.
and it's nice to be home.
I mean, that's good, and I tell people like any place that you work should be somewhere that you're happy, that you enjoy, and being the fact that at first you were getting like really burnt out because you were just working, and it sounds like you were hyper focused on your career versus like your family. I mean, you wanted to make sure they were good and taken care of, but you were just like, all right, let me focus on getting this bread, and then you joined the union, and now you could still get the bread, but you're it's providing you a work life balance essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I was focused on work, and it was like, okay, the family's set with money, but I'm never around. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And then now I'm at that situation where it's like we have the cash and I'm around, so it's like you can't beat that.
No, you definitely can't. And I guess do you feel like you would have been in a different place if you had your kids later on in life?
Yes.
As far as what? Like in what ways? Like what would have been your focus, career, family, love life? Like, I mean, would you still have the love life, or would you like focused on your career like you did, or like what?
I probably would have been more focused. I mean, it all matters, like who, like in that aspect, like it matters who you meet at the
Mm,
time you meet them and all that other stuff. Like, I'm not sure where I would be right now. I
mm.
mean, I would probably be focused more on my career if I had my kids earlier, because I can.
If you had your kids later,
Oh, later.
yes, later.
Oh man, what was the question again?
So where do you feel like you would be at if you had your kids later? Would you have focused more on your career, like, and left like the family and love life thing on the side, or like which what do you think would have been the focus for you?
Probably
If
focus would have been definitely the love life.
okay,
Yeah, because me and my fiance, like we had so much fun before. I mean, we have fun now,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like
you got
having
kids,
fun before kids and after kids,
yeah,
it's
it's
a
different.
complete yeah, it's a complete different mindset. Your mentality is different. So like definitely if we would have waited to have kids, oh
Mm.
man, we'd
You would
be
have been on board for that.
oh yeah. I mean, we'd be going everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel like everybody's, depending on your circumstances, I feel like, again, everybody's situation and focus is different. And I feel like that gentleman, he told me, You focus on two out of the three. But sometimes I feel like we have moments where we hyper focus on just one, and you'll be
Yeah.
like, that's it right now. I'm just focused on this because X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. I know people that are focused on having kids. That's it. Like, I want to pop out kids right now, get that out the way. My career's set, everything else is set. I just want kids. And they're doing the IVF, they're doing all the other things, have schedules for when they're having sex and when she's super ovulating. And it's like, damn, okay. They're focused on building a family. And it's okay. Like, everybody gets hyper focused on things. And I think um, we all do it at some point. And I think we jump in and out of all three. And it's like, yeah, okay. And then, like, for me personally, whenever I see, like, I'm like, damn, I could have kids at some point. Like, I feel like that would be, great to have kids with a person. And then I see my friends' kids and I play with them. I was like, all right, all right, all right. You can go right back over there, little one.
So
Go right back over there.
you're the fun uncle.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that, man. There's really nothing wrong with that.
I love that role. I'm cool with it. Hey, you go
Yeah.
right back over there. Let's get you hyper for them, so I can leave.
And ditch them, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
I know a lot. I have a couple friends that are like that. My brother is exactly like that, and
uh,
there's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people turn a like have a bad opinion about it, but it's like not everybody wants kids, and that's
yeah.
perfectly fine.
I agree. I mean, I want
And
kids at some point, but I ain't rushing it.
that's the other thing I tell
Little
people
ass
too.
demons. No
Yeah, I was
thanks.
like, make sure you do everything you want before having kids.
Hmm.
Because when you have kids, it becomes much more difficult doing those things that
Those
you
things.
want to do. So
Yeah.
I tell everybody, whoever doesn't have kids and they actually talk to me about kids, I tell them, do everything that you want to do before you get into that part of life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I'm very fortunate to have a partner that lets me go away on a weekend to play with toy guns. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you don't meet a lot of people like that. And people tell her too, like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you let him go all the way to California. I can't believe you let him go to Rhode Island for."
Hmm.
It's like, like it all matters on the partner you're with and on other stuff. But
Hmm. Especially if they want to see you happy.
yeah, yeah, she loves it when she sees me happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's all about life balance. And again, you got that balance after join. It seemed like you got that balance after you joined the union. And once you got in the union, it was like, okay, now they're forcing you to have a balance.
Yeah, exactly. So before the union, it was just nonstop hours.
Mm.
Every 3 or 4 weeks, I was on call on the weekends. So I literally wouldn't be home on the weekends. Then I
Okay.
come to the union, and then everything's so relaxed. And I ask for vacation, they give it to me instantly. I can ask for the rest of this week off, and they're like, "Okay, Jeff, have a good weekend."
Okay. So as we come to the end of this episode, how would you rank family, career, and love life again? And like, what advice would you give people on those things?
Okay, so
As of right now, for you, how would you rank them? And what advice would you give to people on them?
it all matters on the day, but right now, I'd say kids, love, and then career. And I always say, the kids and the love life, it can intertwine
Hmm.
on whatever day you like. Each day can be different for you,
Yeah.
but I always say, like, don't forget about your partner when you have kids. You know, your kids will always be in your life, but they won't be 100% in your life once they get older. So don't forget about your love life. Take care of your kids and your career. As long as your career is nice and set, and you're making good money, and you have what you need. There's no. I always say it's like, don't over stress about work, because
Hmm.
at the end of the day, they can always replace you.
Yeah. Word.
So,
Word.
do your best at your job and do your best at your career and hit those milestones. But at the end of the day, just don't forget about the number one thing, and that's your family and your love life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, yeah. At the end of the day, your job can always fire you and pick up the next person. So I always say, if it's not your own business, you know, do the best you can, but just don't forget about the important things in life.
Word. I agree. And thank you for joining me for this episode. That is it. And that's it for this one. You guys can find me on all social media platforms at Random Guy Kev and my website at randomguykev.com. Don't forget to check in, and I will catch you guys on the next one.